Hey,
Hello.
how you doing?
I am well. How are you? Guys, if my phone just falls off, please forgive me.
What?
I don't have my tripod stand, so DIY that's happening at the back, yo, is something else.
Okay. Um, Scoosh, patiently waiting. Hi, Scoosh. Our guest is here.
Yes,
We can
that's my
definitely.
brother.
Oh, okay. Hey, brother. Thank you for joining us.
Yes. How's everybody
Fantastic,
doing?
fantastic. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Hi, Tepi. Hi, Pops. Thank you for joining. Miss Black Diamond is not new to this platform. We love her. We love her opinions. We're not going to go into long intros. You guys know, those who joined before know that she's a body positivity activist. She's an influencer. She's a content creator, and we absolutely love her. And today we're just talking about the movement, the origins. As an activist, she's going to dive deep into the origins of the movement. There's a very interesting post that she's written about when people catch feelings when they're not included in things like these. I really would love questions from you guys. Please send us your questions. I'll read the comments as we get along. So let's kick it off, babe. Right?
Yes, yes,
I want to
yes.
start off with
Question number one.
I know before we get to the questions, I want your opinion on the whole Clicks saga. Clicks has been trending for the past 2 days, 3 days. So I want to get your opinion on that.
Clicks. Clicks. Uh-huh. Yo, I think firstly, I think we need to understand, Corin. Women have women have choices, right? Because the first thing that I saw, Clicks obviously is that what the ad that they put out was obviously approved by somebody.
Yeah.
And when people started being angry, people came back and were like, yeah, you women, you never wear out your natural hair and this and this and that. And people were like, yeah, you don't like your natural hair. And then we must not move away or shift the focus on things that are not necessary. Because I feel like when this whole clicks thing started, people had been waiting to come at women that wear weaves or that braid their hair and don't wear their hair out naturally. We know we are living in a racist society. We all know this, and it comes up in many different ways. We see this all the time. So let's
Yeah.
not move away at the fact that that ad was wrong on so many levels. I mean, if you're advertising a hair product for, say for instance, for white people, use white people's hair to to move your narrative. Why are you using Muriri wa motho o montsho when the products that you make yourself aren't even for 4C type hair? It doesn't make sense. So people want to move away from the focus, from the issue that is, and want to make it about someone else. Oh, black women, hey, now you don't love your hair. It's not even about loving your hair. It's about how you choose to wear your hair. We know natural hair is a whole lot of maintenance, and it grows on you. So we need to allow women to be able to express themselves the way that they want to express themselves. Because everyone is wearing the natural hair, those that prefer to wear weaves don't appreciate how they look and all of these other things. Like, we literally have to just allow women to express themselves in whatever way that makes them feel beautiful. It has nothing to do with women not wanting to embrace their natural hair. Bona ke batla apara weave. When I wake up and I want to be flicking hair and I have short hair like this, I'm putting on a weave, and it doesn't mean I don't love my natural hair or I aspire to look like a white person. There's nothing to do with that. It's simply a choice that I am making to say, this is how I want to look today, and this is how it makes me feel beautiful. Simple.
Okay.
Guys, no, please.
Okay. No, I get you. I wanted your opinion, and I'm not gonna give my opinion on this. Otherwise,
Yeah, and I saw you, Wenaka. I saw you.
conversation it will totally
I saw you.
deviate. No,
Watching
you watch me, Marnango, and let's talk about it in private. My opinions on this are very strong, and they it's within reason. And Vela, we must separate the conversation. Conversation became very muddled. From it moved too much from the racist remarks that clicks portrayed, right?
True.
That is a conversation on its own. And Vela, why I say it's a comparison between dried dull hair mahua and beautiful neat hair mahua. That's a whole conversation. Clicks you and I is something else. Now I've got my own opinions on choices and preferences. We'll pack that.
Okay.
Yeah. Thanks for that opinion. And Bella, we must get into this conversation because I really want to have this conversation. I don't want men getting involved and talking about it because it's not even their space and their place to talk about hair or women's hair.
Problem weave. So why keep it to yourself.
Sure. Yeah, no. Harry, let's dive deep into body positivity. So tell me, you are an activist, you are a plus size model. So when, in your opinion, did this movement become a thing, especially in South Africa?
In SA, I think because we are a generation that is self-aware, we are able to question things that previously people wouldn't question. I can't even pinpoint exactly when I think it might have started, because 1 minute this is happening, the next minute there's all of these plus size people coming out loving their body. So I can't even pinpoint exactly when it started, but I can tell you, Horim, and I'll just make an assumption. Say in late 1990, after about 1990, so we started seeing people love themselves. That's why you'd find phrases such as "uyisdudla esizithandayo" started coming from, because now women that were big started dressing up for their bodies. They started not being ashamed of the size of their bodies, that actually took and made more effort into making themselves look and feel beautiful. And when we start growing up, that's what we see. So now it becomes a thing of, oh, I see my mom is fat and she dresses like this. Oh, Linda, I can also dress like this and I'm fat. So now we because we see people starting to come out of those of their shells of saying, listen, this is who I am. And that's when it started to sort of like spiral, because now it's spiraling. But I can't even pinpoint where it's like 1996 or 1997, but definitely I'd say just after the 1990s, we started seeing people more confident in their bodies. People come out to say, I'm fat and I'm big and I'm proud. And from then on, people started questioning a lot of things about why they need to lose weight, why they are told that, why they are told that certain weight is not good or is not healthy. And I started questioning all of those things, because you'd find people are living healthy lifestyles, but they still don't appeal to what society has said, this is the standard. So from then on, they started, living their best lives, I'd say.
Okay. So whether, in your opinion, do you classify the body positivity movement only belonging to plus sized or people that are on the bigger side of, weight wise?
No, and this also ties into the conversation that we had previously, to say, when we speak about body positivity, we encourage people to love the body that they are in. However, I don't want us to forget how or why the body positivity movements or campaigns were started. They were started because there were certain types of body weights that were marginalized and that were never accepted by society. So it was for them, bigger people, to feel included into saying, "Hore, there's people like this and there's people like us. But how is it that we are not viewed as normal? Meanwhile, this is who we are." And that's when the body positivity campaigns started. But now it's obviously branching out to include all bodies. But I also feel like you can't start something to be included in a certain group of people, and then that group of people sort of feel like you are excluding them. When the movement comes about, is that, okay, we are fat people, we are not included anywhere. So we are going to start something that says we are normal. Because people have already been seen as normal, we are starting a campaign that also says, well, we as big people are also normal. But obviously, but I feel like we're still very far from getting to a original consensus that says, fat people and slim people will be viewed as normal altogether. It's still a fight that, we are trying to it's still something that we're trying to get rid of amongst ourselves. But in the bigger scheme of things, the movement in itself was started to include people that are bigger than other people, or people that are viewed as not normal because of the size of their weight. So obviously, when we grow and we realize that fat people are not the only people that experience body issues, then we speak about it in that sense. Body positivity is inclusive of everyone, but initially it's supposed to be a thing that says, there are people that are excluded or marginalized, and we want them to be included when we talk about bodies that are normal. Because when you talk about plus size people, already even the name plus size is the problem, because it means there's size, and then there's that size that is plus size. So if we start speaking about size and it's inclusive of everyone, of fat and slim, then I feel like we would get to a point where we discuss body positivity as inclusive of everyone that is big and everyone that is not big.
Okay, but in your opinion, why is it important for people to know where it started? Why is that a thing? Why does that matter? I get body positivity is about bodies. Why does it matter for the body positivity movement?
Because I feel like we always just want to be included everywhere. So even when things aren't necessarily about us, or when they don't speak to us, we feel like we are excluded from it. Because even now, us having to delve deeper into what body positivity is because people that aren't fat sort of feel like when we speak of body positivity, we are speaking of just fat people. So now we have to say, no, guys, it's not just about that. We want to be included. We want to be seen as normal as Luna. We started this thing because we are not seen as normal as you. It's the same thing with the hashtags that men are trash. We know, guys, it's not every man that kills or that rapes or does all of these things. But people that don't do it will still want to be excluded or included in saying, yeah, but say not all men. Already we know, it's not all men. We know. So I think we as people just suffer from, and exaggerated senses of self. We always want to make things about us, even when they are not about us. The focus must always somehow be on us, even when we are not the topic of discussion, or even when things that are being discussed don't necessarily affect us in any way. So now conversations about body positivity is like it's like a tug of war. Slim people want to be included, but fat people are like, but you are already included, in the system. The system already loves you. The system already appreciates you. So why are you not drawing us in? Instead, now it's a fat versus skinny type of battle. And that's not what the movement is for. So
right? I'm always so torn apart, right? Because as a movement, redefining beauty, I also wanted it to be all inclusive, because now
Yes.
I always found myself right in the middle of it. I was not skinny, and I'm not skinny, and I'm not fat, and I've never been fat. So I started the movement because, like, you fly out somewhere,
Yeah.
because I'm always
Or in
ranging.
between, or
Yeah,
all
it's like,
saver.
you all say you go 36, you go 36 in now because of lockdown, we gain the weight, you go 38. Yeah, and the movement, yeah, redefining beauty, was started because of that. I couldn't find a place. I couldn't run to the Stula Chronicles, and
Yeah.
I didn't fit in with Slender my catalog. So now I started a movement that is sort of inclusive of everyone. But now I see it's a problem. And the movements on their own, they are always started to advance a cause of a particular group that is either marginalized or misunderstood, or that want to push a certain message, right?
Yeah.
And because the reasoning behind these movements, well, by nature, makes them exclusive. So is it really, are we dreaming when we want to have movements that are inclusive?
I think we have to look at it in I think with everything, there's always a root, ne? And we must understand what the root is before we want it to be inclusive or of everyone. When we start speaking about health issues, for instance, we don't speak of health issues in its entirety, but we already marginalize people that are fat to say, well, people that are fat are unhealthy. And in that instance, we can't now say, hooray, it's also going to take us a while for us to get to an issue where when we speak about general wellness, we are speaking about understanding also that people that are fat are healthy. Understanding that people that are deemed to be too skinny are also healthy because they eat well, they exercise. It just so happens or body type is a certain way. So I feel like if we start to understand the root of why these movements are started in the first place, we won't want to fight to be included or call it being or call it excluding other people. But we have to understand why the root of these movements are started in the first place, because the movements are started because there is there's a group or a particular type of people that already feel like they are sidelined. So they are saying, we are here and we want to be seen the way that you guys are seen. But the people that are already seen are now fighting, oh, no, but it's for everybody. But it's not for everyone. It started because you are people that are seen like this, and there's people that are seen like this. We want to be all seen in the same eye. So how to understand the root? I think the root is very important, because then it doesn't allow us to shift these things into and create things that it's not supposed to. Because we're not, and the thing is that I feel that people don't understand is when you talk about plus size positivity, let me say plus size positivity, they already assume that you are fighting with them. No, guys, it's not a fight. Plus size, you are already accepted. Yes, we don't nullify the fact that we all have body issues, whether we're big, whether we're small. We all have these issues. But we also can't deny the fact that there is a certain way that society views people that are skinny, and there's a certain way that society views people that are fat. You know, so the root is just there to but we are sidelined. And then we get to a point where we say, okay, we are all now in the same basket, but Hona no, it's two pots.
Yeah.
Two different pots.
Do you find that people that are slimmer are becoming jealous of people that are plus size, because plus size women are now getting all this attention?
Sorry, please repeat that, Kamo.
I'm saying, do you think that slimmer people are now becoming jealous of plus size people because now plus size people are getting airtime? You know, there's more influencers, there's movements, there's just like plus size people are being celebrated. Do you think that slimmer people are getting jealous? Is that why they want to be included?
To a certain extent, I have to say yes. And I'm saying yes because it will always boil down to the issue of them wanting to be included in body positivity movements that are created for people who are fat to be included in society. So they also can't see the root of why these groups are created. They just see people that are now coming out of their shells to say, hey, I'm big and I'm beautiful. And, people are starting to see people for who they are. People are now attracted to people because now confidence about is on the rise, and people are now starting to be attracted to that. Whereas previously, because you're in your own little corner, you're in your own little shell, people don't see you. So it was okay. So now fat people are just like, hey, they are not ashamed now to go hiking if they have to. They're not ashamed to go to the gym if they have to. And now a lot more people are starting to see black people, fat people, and for the mere fact, even when we speak about these movements of body positivity, you'll find people that say, yeah, all bodies matter. No one ever said all bodies don't matter. So to a certain extent, ke feela hore bana
Jealousy.
monster.
Yeah, Linda, I sort of see it, but I can't be sure. I'm still assessing. I'm still assessing the situation. I'm still trying to see, especially the redefining beauty movement. I'm still trying to see what are people finding themselves in the movement, because even the requests I get are mostly from people that are plus size and people that want to join the movement. People that are plus size, and because everyone assumes that body positivity movements are for plus size people.
Yeah.
The jealousy thing comes because I saw on Twitter, Thick Leonce is being dragged, and they were saying there was comments about her clothing line or range, high Leapex or something like that.
Yeah,
That
not being inclusive.
yeah, how not size for people that are smaller, and I'm like, how guys, the range, like are we you know, but
And
basically, yeah, they started this movement. They started. Maybe now. I don't know. That's like you told. Maybe they should remain exclusive because the origins are there. We understand the purpose why the movement exists. Why can't we just
yeah,
celebrate it? Yeah, it's sharp. Those people are being celebrated. But why again?
exactly. And then we'll go back also to I actually don't want to go deep into this jealousy thing, but it's like EMU, because when you fight for um to be included in a brand, it's thick Leonce. Is you basically saying, Hore, you want to be everywhere, but already you are everywhere. And another thing I'll go back to is understanding the root. Thick Leonce created that brand because as a person that is big, it is not easy to get into a store and find something that you like, because plus size clothing, kitty catching, if we're just being honest, kitty catching, bona, no. So, they first have to understand why she created that. It's so hard as, as someone who's big to walk into a store, or Tole says, yeah, how go fit it. And it's actually something that you want. It's actually something that you like. It's
Yeah.
not nice to just go into a shop and just take something because it's the only thing in there that fits you. So she created, a line that says, this is for you, so you don't have to feel like you are excluded. And even with that, you find people wanting to be included, but once again, they are included everywhere. Why ba sa lwanele hore Donatle is stock di size double size 28? Why ba sa lwanele hore these plus size shops, this stock di size double di size 10 or size
Smaller.
12? Why aren't they fighting for that? Because if you want to be included, don't be included now because people are coming up and saying, yeah, we are. Fight to be included. Include everyone else so that we all know these things it's something that's normal. If everyone was included in clothing stores, there wouldn't be a need for plus size people to create their own brands. Because I know there's Omatema as well. She caters for plus size people, but you won't find people balla hey Omatema, because Omatema is quiet. Now she's coming up with these nice dresses, these in people. No, why are you not making sizes for smaller people? Sizes for smaller people are everywhere, but not sizes for bigger people. So the root is that she's creating sizes for bigger people so that they also feel they can look beautiful without just walking into a shop. Hey, wait, that's just simply because it's the only thing in the store that can fit you. So,
I hear you.
Guys.
Hey, it's hard, man. It's very,
it's very hard.
And as inclusive, then I always find myself sort of in a tricky position. I just want to read a few comments. I see people are saying some things here. Kifilwe was saying it always ends in tears with these groups, more so the plus size groups. The admin usually uses the platform for their own personal gain.
What does she mean by that? What does that mean?
Kifila, I don't understand what you mean. Please clarify. And then Ukuku saying, let's not even talk about lingerie for bigger sizes. Hey, Eman, Arriba at least cross your heart. Right. Yeah, now Kifila, syndrome air, what about me? What problem?
Yeah.
We don't even take the time to hear people out. Like, there was a time that we work up body shaming on social media. And then, instead of us just listening to how others have been body shamed, everyone's like, but what about me? Like,
yes, exactly.
Because Ratiba Hore mostly, everyone is shamed in different ways. But fat shaming, I've never come across any big or plus size person I've never been fat shamed.
Yes.
So
yes.
Why hole tata hore re mamele bana ba bang? And then re tla tla le di editions tsa rona tsa hore this and this.
Is it me that's breaking up?
Once they yes.
Okay, sorry about
that.
Okay, I'm here now. Ladies.
You're back.
Yes.
Once they gain popularity, they start bashing other plus size women. Do you have a personal story or personal experience? Your commentary sounds a little bit personal, so I'm curious to know, does that happen all across, or are you being specific to an incident?
The other thing is, I hear what Kifilo is saying. And that's why, moreover, I always advocate for loving yourself, really. Because listen, you can be fat, lose weight, and you still don't love yourself. And if you are a person that has a problem with yourself, you will always see a problem. And I know what Kifilo is saying to say, Hore, yes, there are big people that will bash people that are tiny or call them names or whatever. And for me, that's simply it's a personal thing. It's a personal thing. This person has aspirations to be skinny. Because how we tata, you will rarely ever see a problem. It's the same with people that are skinny and they bash fat people. They don't understand how a fat person can be so confident in a world that says for him fat is ugly. So many times people just project how they actually feel about themselves onto other people. It's not something that happens with every fat person, and it's not something that happens with every skinny person who you are going to be bashing people of the opposite weight. And another thing that I've also noticed is that you'll find people that have lost weight. Okay? Now advocating for other people to lose weight because for them saying to you, no, because I've lost weight, it means for you also, there's no way you as a fat person is not aspiring to lose weight. I lost weight because my doctor has said, I have this and this and this and this and that. And as a fat person, I know you also are experiencing this and this and that. And that's a problem for me. Because
okay, yeah,
these issues, you know, these issues are not, it's a group work. These health issues as a group work.
yeah,
It's not a collective thing. You can have issues irrespective of your body type, and that's what people need to understand. If you have taken it upon yourself to gain weight because you feel like you are too skinny, leave people who are smaller than you to love their bodies the way that they want to love their bodies. If you are a big person that is now losing weight, leave those that are now bigger than you to love themselves the way that they want to love themselves. So that we also look as if we are doing something right. And weight is very personal to everyone, irrespective of whether you are big or you are tiny. Weight is a personal thing, and we can't also run away from the fact that the whole world is fat phobic. You know what I mean? So Moto that is tiny wants to gain weight, but they don't want to be too fat because you can't be fat. Moto that is fat needs to lose weight because the world is saying you can't be fat.
Yeah,
so if you are taking it upon yourself to enter into a journey to reach your own personal weight goal, let it not be a thing that you are now imposing on other people. What we should be advocating for as people is healthy eating and exercise. If you're eating healthy and if you are exercising and that leads you to lose weight or that leads you to gain weight, that is not the narrative for everyone else. I eat healthy, I exercise from time to time, but this is who I am. I don't have any issues. There are people that are tinier than me that have a whole lot of issues, but I'm not now going to say, yeah, you have these issues because you are like this. No. That's all of the things that we need to understand. Your weight is personal for everyone. Let's not make general wellness issues a focus on how big, on how or how skinny you are. It's a general health issue.
I agree with you totally. It's just that very relevant to the problem. We wanna become the template for other people.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and what I agree, what I agree with you on that you've so beautifully articulated was really the premise of the redefining beauty movement, because I already said my number one reason for the movement is self-love, right? And we need to tailor that. I mean, the first word in that conjunctive word is self. We need to tailor what love for self is. And you're very right when you speak about wellness. And I don't know how I'm going to do it, but you and I must sit down and think of a workshop that we can do to school people on the fact that it is assumed that people that are slimmer are healthy. And it is assumed that people that are plus size are unhealthy. And then now I've consulted with nutritionists and all these nutritionists and a dietitian about this. You'll be so shocked to find out that batubaling fat are actually much healthier than batubaling very skinny. Some people baling skinny habaji, habaji healthy. They have behaviors and tendencies that are not pro health, but because they just want to maintain so we need to bridge, I feel we need to do more in terms of preaching about wellness rather than the size of the body.
Because another thing that never ever makes sense for me is how a measure of how you should look always related to BMI. And I've always used myself as an example to say, okay, so BMI says I'm obese. but there's nothing I can do with my height. There is absolutely nothing I can do about my height. I exercise, and that's the thing, you know, BMI will say you're obese, but every other test that you are taking is saying, hora, or sharp, or cholesterol, you don't have high blood pressure, you don't have all of these issues that would be related to or associated with people who are fat. So now, can
I tell you about BMI?
Strive to lose 20 kg because BMI says, yo, Lerato, you are like this. And even in that instance, I'm striving now to lose this 20 kg. There are people all around me. Hey, don't lose too much weight. Hey, you must lose weight. Your BMI, you must take it. And it's just like, guys, please, no.
Now, let me tell you something about BMI that I learned. Because Linda Kimokutwan, right? And I learned from Kilewala Libitola, Dr. G, because Nerembiza Dr. G, who's a wellness and a nutritionist. And she was talking about BMI, the calculation of BMI. It's a Chinese, you know?
Thank you.
And how Shaba physique China. You know, can we really be applying Chinese standards to African figures and African bodies? We shouldn't even. So now be like you play my lady scientist, lead Dr. Sarunor. Someone must come up with an African BMI that caters for our bone structure.
That is realistic.
Exactly. That is very realistic.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm wondering, is there any questions? I just saw a lot of people joining. Thank you for joining, everyone. If you've got questions, please let me know.
I can't even see.
Yeah, I just saw a lot of notifications, and we're running out of time. We have 8 minutes before Instagram cuts us off. This conversation is too lovely. That is why, Kiri, you know, we need a breakaway. We need like a workshop, a whole day workshop where we will tackle different things. And that's my desire for the Redefining PT movement, that we talk health, we talk exercise, we talk body type, we talk muscle mass, we talk about mental health, because all of these branches of things need to be tailored and need to be, you know, they should be per individual. How not blanket anything now? We can't be throwing a whole blanket of wellness where everyone needs to be within this range of anything.
Yeah. And I also think, and to just maybe add on to what body positivity is, and I think it maybe comes across as though when we say we are advocating for body positivity, although it's initially started to, you know, include people that are plus size, but we must understand that saying you should aspire to love your plus size body. We're not saying aspire to be unhealthy. We're not saying aspire to eat junk food. We're not saying aspire to not exercise. No. We are not saying that. We are simply saying in a world that is only accepting of people of a certain body type, be aware or acknowledge the fact that there are people also of a certain body type that are living in the same world. So I think a lot of times, you know, when we speak or when we speak especially about normalizing plus size bodies, people already assume we just want to be battery. Sorry about that. We just want to be comfortable, being fat and not exercise and be lazy. And that's not what we're saying. We're saying,
at all.
Acknowledge we are also here. Acknowledge we are as much human as you are. And that's what people don't understand. And it's important for us to always have these conversations to help people understand when I say I love my fat body. I'm not saying every day ke ja papa, ke rata ke nka 8 slices and you know I scram it into 1 slice kg. We're not saying that. We're simply saying I love the body that I'm in, and in order for me to take care of my body, I have to eat healthy. I have to exercise so that body yaka linna e kgone ho nsebeletsa. And it's important for people to understand normalizing plus size body is simply saying we love ourselves the way that we are. It has no bearing on you as someone that is not plus size, but it's simply about and people should not want to be included in people's personal views of themselves. If I say I love myself as a big person, I'm not saying a friend of mine that is not big should not love themselves because they aren't like me. They have nothing to do with how I feel or how I choose to live myself, and how I choose to love myself. And that's what people need to understand. So these movements are not have nothing to do with you, but everything to do with me. So when we start to understand these things are personal and they are individual goals, and you have to understand that people are individuals to be able to understand where they are coming from without already seeing it as a personal attack on you. It's important.
I
it's
agree.
Extremely important.
And for now, if Mutwakare summarize it in one word or in one sentence, Ngarafela, these movements are just about not discriminating. Do not discriminate. Fair. It's that simple. And I'm saying also, in addition to what you're saying, even if Moto is unhealthy, let them love themselves. Teach them to love themselves. They will get out of the unhealthy habits and get into a path of health. But we can't just now say Moto is not supposed to love themselves, even though
because
they are not healthy.
No.
Yeah, I'm glad we agree. I don't see any comments. Oh, Miss Ginger saying how Mara, why keep it late? Miss Ginger, the recording will be available on the platform. You can follow us after this. Redefining Beauty SA. You can catch the conversation from right at the beginning. So, babe, let's close this conversation.
All right.
Before Instagram ikwala. So when if there's Kitlaring, I want you to summarize very briefly in a minute what message do you have, or what's the one thing that you want people to know about the body positivity movement?
That it's basically just a movement for plus size people to be included in a society that doesn't include them. Every single way you go, plus size people are not included or are not given preference to people that are not plus size. You see it in how sexy is supposed to look. You see it in airplanes. Plus size people can't just travel for aeroplaning. Also, you have to buy a second seat. So it's basically just to say, normalize plus size bodies, because these are people that are as much of a human as you are. It has nothing to do with the next person. It's not saying that the next person should aspire to be plus size because now there's a movement. It's basically saying we are tired of being marginalized and we just want to be included in things that we are excluded from. Basically, the society that we are excluded from. Just basically fighting for inclusivity, basically.
And that's basically, it's as simple as that.
It's as simple as that. It's really as simple as that.
I really, really agree. And Bella, we need to normalize these things. And we need to get to a point where people don't feel the need to start movements. Because really, if we were all inclusive and society catered for everybody, there would 100%. Not be a need for these movements again.
Yes, absolutely correct.
Thank you, honey. Correct. I'm just going to read a few comments before I close the call. Uzodwa, no, not Zodwa. Alice Numale says, Kota guys, buying clothes for my body can sometimes be a mission impossible. Hey, maybe you are going to the wrong places.
And also, just to add, another thing is, it's true because, but guys, plus size clothing are expensive. When you go into a shop, the higher the size,
the bigger,
the higher the price.
Oh,
the higher the size, the bigger. I'm telling you, get into maybe not all of them, but from all size 36, Genie Tlaba 499, 38, 599, 40, 699, 44, 799. So it's things like that you know we are fighting for. Normalize us, because but we have to wear clothes. Like, what must we do?
What's about the fashion industry?
Because then they're going to call us disgusting and all sorts of things. So make
what's
clothes
about
that fit us.
fashion industry in in 2020, they're not doing more to be like research kanti. Census, census to count the people in the country. Why is there no census to cater? Why how can there's like many things that size 28. Like how shaba demographic, is it really true that 90% of people in this country are the size 28?
No. And so, that standard Sitswakai overseas.
Europe. Except, that's why ke kwatela di shopo tsa rona, ke kwatela di designer hore le self, you are not selling to society, the market. Exactly. Le batla ho rekisetsa bo mang, because Tyra Banks ayo go South Africa.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? Anyway, it was lovely chatting.
Always.
I didn't see any questions. So thank you. Koketo, you are late, but you can catch the recording. Thank you for joining. This conversation, we can go on and on and on. And I always feel like
really can.
We do need to unpack
so much.
We do really need to unpack more, you know. So guys, join the movement. Please follow the page, Redefining Beauty SA. As a movement, we've got an annual photo shoot, and the next photo shoot is coming on the 31st of October. Miss Black Diamond, I hope you are going to be joining us.
Yes, I definitely will. You'll send me details offline.
Yes, I will. Every Wednesday, I am here hosting and having different guests to talk about beauty, to talk about body positivity, and really to get into these conversations. We need to stop being afraid of asking questions. We need to stop being afraid of, you know, voicing opinions. But to have talk, people don't know about the movement, the origins, and these things, because ignorance is thriving. So we need to be having more of these conversations. Yeah, and I will end it. I will end it. Comment Tepta McFace are normalize South African bodies. Damn it.
Yes.
Normalize South
African bodies.
I feel like that. Wait again. Exactly. In closing, that's why I chose photography to push this movement when I initially started. Even though back then I was like a 35, 36, I felt like there's not enough pictures of South Africans online. Like even when we talk about plus size bodies, content ya America, you know, we talk about Batsubaka, how sheba internet, Google mole, how. Something like Kamza.
Yes.
Because wait again, Kitoblala net, live another South Africa, but confused because now but let's see the images some American more phones that I want. So therefore, but measure against those things. So these conversations, the benefit are
that is true. The only people Baratang do like about tobacco was Natal, and I mean we can't take people from all over South Africa because Natal was allowed. Hey, guys. No.
But the onus is on us.
We need to unlearn. We need to unlearn what the standard has been. We need to unlearn because it's not realistic. It's not realistic in your families. It's not realistic in your friends. It's not a realistic standard of beauty. The only realistic standard of beauty is you. That's it.
Right?
The only realistic standard of beauty, yourself. And that's what we need to. That's what we need to start learning. To accept and love ourselves the way that we are, and to take care
the way we are.
Fair.
That's all. Fair. Amen. My pumin cons.
My poom. Amen, Bazalwan.
Good night, everyone.
Amen.
Thank you for joining.
Thank
See you
so
next
much
week.
for having me, Kamo.
Same
Thank you
time,
so much.
same place. 7 p.m. Redefining Beauty Wednesday conversations. Thank you, honey.
Goodbye, guys. Sharp.